actually, who's a very experienced fundraiser, put it very well. He said, raising venture capital is the art of younger men seducing older men. Or women. We have a very illustrious female venture capitalist. And what does that mean? That means that every venture capitalist deep down is either a former entrepreneur, or a failed entrepreneur, or a wannabe entrepreneur. So, myself included. And so they believe that, oh, I could do this too. I've just now found out higher calling or a different calling. So they want to be entranced and seduced by your ideas. They want to be entranced and seduced by the promise of what you have. They want to be made to feel part of the team. They want to envision the market you want that you envision. So the timeless art of seduction applies. What that means is those of you from your single days, if you remember, social proof matters. We're meeting Sequoia this week. Oh, you want to drop that in a subtle way, of course. Authority is very important. So who references you in, who refers you into the firm matters a lot. If you came in referred by the accountant versus referred by Mark Andreessen, that's going to make a huge difference. Scarcity matters. You don't want to be knocking on the door every day for months. That never works. But most of all, you have to be desirable. So I have my 5 quick tips for starting a company. If you're starting a company, you better make sure you got at least 4 of these 5, preferably all 5. And if you have a company in the crowd right now, we can go through a mental checklist. I think this is important. This is the easy one of the hard ones, depending on your point of view. Everyone thinks they have a great team. Nobody actually does. This is the one that most people get nailed on. If you're getting repeatedly turned down for fundraising, odds are it's your team. And there's really no other way to know other than to objectively go to the absolute best person you know to assess this, someone who's very accomplished and very capable, and will be brutally honest with you in this aspect. And don't settle. Never ever settle. What this means is usually the best companies are formed by people who have known each other for years and years and years. That's how you really assess whether someone is worthy of being part of a great team. You have to pick a big market, and that's a market that's big right now. Niche plays don't get funding, even by angels. This is a common misconception. A lot of people think that, well, I'm going for a niche play, I'm going for a small market, but I'm the only one going to the market, and some angel will fund me, and that's all I need. Well, it doesn't work because the biggest risk an angel investor faces is downstream financing risk. For economists in the group, it's called a Keynesian beauty contest. You pick the winner in a round based on who you think the winner in the next round will be. And so therefore, an angel will not fund you if they don't think a VC will fund you down the road. So you have to have a big market. And every idea changes. I cannot point to a single big company, especially in the web space, that started out doing something and ended up doing the same thing. You always have to zig and zag. Or you stumbled into it, or you started as a hobby or a science project and you became a company. But it's extremely rare to start a company, get it funded, say we're going to do this thing, and then blow the market out and build a billion-dollar company. It's almost unheard of. So you need a big market to operate it. You have to do something hard. If you're just slapping together Ruby on Rails and working off some templates and counting on a first-mover advantage, it's a cute way to start, but over time, you have to build up some proprietary technology, something that makes it hard for you to be followed. You have to have a proprietary distribution channel. What that means is you better be better at SEO than the next guy, or you better understand viral marketing really well, or you better have some unique partnership strategy. But just have some way to market what it is that you're building that's not the same technique that everyone else in the space is using. And finally, a lot of people forget that, especially in the age of social networking, you have to stay close to the money. The closer you're to the money, the better you're going to do. Don't have a business plan that's oblique that says, well, we're going to do this, and then the users will do that, and then we'll refer them to this, and then they'll pay us a piece. Because every one of those steps is a 90% reduction in the revenue that you get. And you just multiply that through, and you're not going to make any money. So now that we have our 5 criteria laid out, you got your great team, you got your big market, you know how to play the VC game a little bit. You put your pitch together. It's not that important, to be honest. 10 slides, 1 executive summary, and 1 quick one-liner way of describing it. Make sure you know the microeconomics of your business. Macroeconomics is fabrication. Anyone who goes on Bloomberg will realize that within 10 minutes. One day they tell you the stock market is up because the Fed's going to cut interest rates. Next day the stock market is down because the Fed's going to cut interest rates. Nobody knows macroeconomics. So do not spend your time making 5-year projections about the huge size of the market. Know your microeconomics. Know how much you can make per customer and have tested those numbers. Then you have to approach the VCs. Always get introduced, cold calls, blind. Basically doesn't work. But make sure you get to introduce the partner. No offense to the associates in the crowd, but associates have the power to say no, and I was one of them. You rarely have the power to say yes. So you want to start at the top if possible. Get introduced from someone they respect, and do it all at roughly the same time. This last one people get wrong a lot. They just go with the introductions and they get them. If a good advisor or a good investor offers to introduce you to another investor, say, wait, we're going to do this all at once. In 1 2-week period, we're going to hit everybody. Because deals have a way of going scale. Inside a venture capital partnership is a dynamic. Every Monday they have a partner meeting. In that partner meeting, they bring up new deals. Next week, they move into first impressions, and next week they move into second impressions, then they move into diligence. And a deal can't last more than about 4 to 8 weeks in that diligence stage. If it's still there 2 months later, it's stale, it's dead. The partner will remove it out of sheer embarrassment. So therefore, you have to hit them all at roughly the same time. The most common thing you're going to hear is the word no in many discussions. You'll never hear no itself. The reason is because saying no means that the venture capitalist has closed up all option value. And why give up option value? VCs are smart people. So